Imagine a ruler so powerful. He could stitch together a kingdom torn at its seams. Picture a pharaoh who, after centuries of strife and division, could reunite the lands of Upper and Lower Egypt. This wasn't some mythical tale, or a riddle posed by the Sphinx. This was Mentuhotep II, the architect of Egypt's Middle Kingdom, a period often hailed as a golden age of peace and prosperity. He wasn't just a king, he was a unifier, a builder and a visionary. His reign wasn't just a chapter in Egyptian history. It was the start of a whole new volume, filled with tales of grandeur, ambition and a resurgent empire, basking in the sun's golden rays. Born into a time of turmoil, Mentuhotep II inherited a divided kingdom, a land fractured by political strife and uncertainty. Little did anyone know that this young man, destined to rule from Thebes, would rise to become a legend, a name whispered with reverence for centuries to come. His story is a testament to the indomitable spirit of leadership, the kind that thrives amidst chaos and emerges stronger, forging unity from the crucible of division. Fasten your mental seatbelts, dear readers, because we're about to embark on a thrilling journey through time back to the banks of the Nile, to uncover the legacy of the pharaoh who rebuilt Egypt. To truly understand the impact of Mentuhotep II, we need to rewind a bit to the period before his reign, a time known as the First Intermediate Period. Picture this: Egypt, the land of pharaohs and pyramids, wasn't the unified powerhouse we often imagine. Instead, it was a kingdom fractured, split into two main regions, each vying for dominance in the north. The rulers of Heracleopolis held sway, their grip on Lower Egypt, a stark counterpart to the Theban south, where Mentuhotep II's ancestors held court. It was an era of political maneuvering, regional conflicts and simmering tensions, a far cry from the unified, prosperous Egypt of previous dynasties. Imagine the Nile, the lifeblood of Egypt, flowing through a land divided. Trade faltered, cultural exchange dwindled, and the once mighty kingdom seemed to teeter on the brink of collapse. It was a time when the very idea of a unified Egypt seemed like a distant, almost impossible dream. But his history often reminds us, it's during the darkest hours that the most unexpected heroes emerge, their deeds illuminating the path toward a brighter future. This chaotic backdrop sets the stage for the rise of Mentuhotep II, a ruler who would defy the odds, heal the divisions, and usher in a new era of Egyptian dominance. Mentuhotep II wasn't about to let his kingdom remain fragmented. He spent the early years of his reign consolidating his power, strengthening his army, and preparing for the inevitable confrontation with the north. The clash, when it finally came, was nothing short of epic. Imagine the clash of armies, the clang of bronze against bronze, the roar of chariots charging across the desert sands, under the scorching Egyptian sun. This wasn't just a battle for territory. It was a struggle for the very soul of Egypt, a fight to determine who would rule the two lands. Mentuhotep, a brilliant military strategist, led his forces with courage and tactical prowess. Victory after victory followed, each success bringing him closer to his ultimate goal, the reunification of Egypt. He wasn't just a conqueror, though. He was a unifier. He understood that true power lay not just in military might, but also in the ability to mend the fractured psyche of a nation. With each victory, he extended his hand in reconciliation, offering amnesty and integration to those who had opposed him. His aim wasn't just to vanquish his enemies, but to bring them under his banner, to forge a single, unified Egypt from the ashes of division. With the north subdued and Egypt once again under the rule of a single pharaoh, Mentuhotep II turned his attention to the monumental task of rebuilding. He knew that true unity went beyond mere political control. It required a cultural and spiritual resurgence. He embarked on an ambitious program of temple construction and restoration, breathing new life into ancient religious centers, and solidifying his image as a pious and devoted ruler. Think of the bustling construction sites, the rhythmic chipping of stone, the towering scaffolding, against the backdrop of the desert sky. He revived trade routes, revitalized the economy, and ushered in a period of unprecedented prosperity. The arts flourished under his patronage, with literature, sculpture, and painting reflecting the newfound confidence and unity of the age. It was as if Egypt had awakened from a long slumber, its spirit reinvigorated, its creative energy flowing once more. Mentuhotep II wasn't just rebuilding a kingdom. He was reshaping its very identity, forging a sense of shared heritage and national pride that would resonate for centuries to come. No discussion about ancient Egypt would be complete without mentioning pyramids. And Mentuhotep II certainly left his mark on this ancient tradition. He chose to construct his own funerary complex at Dur el-Bahri, a site on the west bank of the Nile opposite Thebes. But this wasn't just another pyramid. It was a unique architectural masterpiece, a harmonious blend of pyramid and mortuary temple that would later inspire the Grand Temple of Hatshepsut. Built on the same site, imagine a sprawling complex. Terraces rising majestically from the desert floor. Colonnades casting long shadows as the sun dipped below the horizon. And at its heart the pyramid, a symbol of the pharaoh's eternal journey to the afterlife. This wasn't just a tomb. It was a statement, a testament to Mentuhotep II's vision and his desire to break free from the architectural conventions of the past. It was a symbol of the new Egypt he had created, a fusion of tradition and innovation, a physical manifestation of the unity he had forged. Mentuhotep II understood the power of imagery. He commissioned countless statues and reliefs, depicting himself in various poses, showcasing his strength, piety, and authority. These images weren't just about vanity. They were carefully crafted propaganda, designed to reinforce his legitimacy and to project an image of power and stability throughout the realm. Imagine colossal statues of the pharaoh, carved from gleaming granite, standing guard at temple entrances, his serene gaze looking out over his subjects. He's often depicted wearing the red crown of Lower Egypt and the white crown of Upper Egypt, a powerful symbol of the unified kingdom he ruled. Other images show him making offerings to the gods, participating in religious rituals, or smiting his enemies in battle. These visual narratives, etched in stone, served as a constant reminder of his achievements, his divine right to rule, and the peace and prosperity that his reign had brought to Egypt. While Mentuhotep II's political and military achievements are well documented, his personal life remains shrouded in mystery. We catch glimpses of his personality through his actions, his building projects, and the few surviving inscriptions that mention him. What kind of man was this unifier, this architect of a new Egypt? Was he a ruthless conqueror or a benevolent ruler? Was he a pious devotee of the gods, or a shrewd politician who understood the importance of religious imagery? Unfortunately, the historical record is frustratingly silent on many aspects of his personal life. We don't know much about his family life, his hobbies, or his personal beliefs. He remains an enigma, a figure whose public persona, so carefully crafted in stone, overshadows the man himself. Perhaps that's part of what makes him so fascinating. He's a ruler whose legacy is forever intertwined with the grand narrative of Egyptian history. Yet he remains an individual, a human being who lived, breathed, and dreamed amidst the grandeur of ancient Egypt. Thebes, the city from which Mentuhotep II ruled, experienced a renaissance during his reign. Once a regional center, it transformed into a bustling metropolis, its streets teeming with merchants, artisans, and officials from across the United Kingdom. Grand temples rose dedicated to the gods who had favored Mentuhotep's rule, their towering pylons and obelisks piercing the skyline, casting long shadows across the city below. Imagine the sights and sounds of this ancient Egyptian city. The rhythmic chanting of priests, the clang of hammers from workshops, the lively chatter of traders in the marketplace, all infused with the sights and smells of daily life. In ancient Thebes, Mentuhotep's building projects provided employment, stimulated the economy, and transformed the city's landscape. He wasn't just a ruler, he was an urban planner, an architect who shaped the physical and cultural fabric of his capital, leaving an indelible mark on its history. Mentuhotep II's reign marked a turning point in Egyptian history. He inherited a divided kingdom on the brink of chaos, and bequeathed a unified, prosperous empire to his successors. His military campaigns reunited the two lands. His building projects revitalized the economy and instilled a sense of national pride. And his administrative reforms laid the groundwork for centuries of stability. He wasn't just a king, he was a nation builder. A leader who understood that true power lay not just in conquest, but in the ability to unite and inspire. His legacy extended far beyond his death. He ushered in a period known as the Middle Kingdom, an era of peace and prosperity that would last for centuries. The pharaohs who succeeded him inherited a strong, unified kingdom, and they built upon the foundations he had laid, expanding Egypt's borders, developing its culture, and solidifying its position as a dominant power. In the ancient world, Mentuhotep II's reign wasn't just a chapter in Egyptian history. It was the start of a whole new volume, filled with tales of grandeur, ambition and a resurgent empire. Basking in the sun's golden rays, the echoes of Mentuhotep II's reign reverberated through Egyptian history. His successors looked back upon his rule as a golden age, a time of unity and prosperity. His name was invoked in royal inscriptions, his deeds celebrated in hymns and poems. He became a legend, a symbol of Egyptian unity and strength. His story passed down through generations. Even today, centuries after his death, his name conjures up images of a powerful and charismatic leader, a unifier who healed the wounds of division and ushered in a new era of Egyptian dominance. His architectural innovations, particularly his unique funerary complex at Deir el-Bahri, continued to inspire awe and wonder. He left behind more than just monuments and inscriptions. He left behind a legacy of unity, strength and cultural revitalization that would shape the course of Egyptian history. As we delve into the annals of